This is Mark, Hay Creek Stock Farm, haycreek.net. This is the silage pile that we filmed back in finishing up and green shopping the excess back in September of 22. It's now February 18th of 23. We've had 9 18 to 21 month old feeders on this since the beginning of February. It's early afternoon now. I was out earlier today and cleaned up the pile, so they've had a chance to feed on it. We'll go over there and take a look at what they've got done. They're shy about the camera, so they're all heading out of here. They came out of the northeast, so this whole end of the pile was buried in drifts about 2 to 3 feet deep, compacted drifts. Took some digging out, but the top of it is fairly lightly covered from about the center towards the east. The west side away from the direction of the snowfall is still pretty deep. You can see it right here. So here's the perimeter wire, the cross wire, the corrugated tube holding back the sand seal weight. It's a dam for the sand seal, hold it in place, doesn't wash away. Pulled back so the cattle don't travel on it. There's so much snow around there that the corrugated tube and its little pegs aren't frozen. It's easy to pull it out. Just shovel it off. Silage itself is really good quality. There's no pockets in it where it's begun to rot, to decay. It's all green and solid and readily eaten. Knocked down some ledges this morning with the they were overhanging. They'd been eaten under, and I knocked them down by plunging the pitchfork through them from the top and working a line across and then breaking it off at that score point. That works pretty well if they're not really hard frozen, which they weren't this morning. It was pretty warm out. Today it's right around 34 now. So for some reason they're eating this pile at a skew. I don't know what's wrong with this side. It looks the same as the other, but they certainly seem to consume it faster on the east end than the west end rather than the east side. But yeah, the self-feeding works fairly well. The most challenging part of it is if you get a lot frequent snowfalls. You know, getting this old snow off is a hassle, but it's worse if you've got new snow falling and blowing all the time while you're in the process of feeding out of this, because then you get snow all over this stuff that they're actually feeding off of, and they tend to reject it and waste a lot of it that way. So it's nice if it's relatively dry while that's happening. And not only that, but the base, this is just ground underneath. There's no pavement or anything like that. The ground can get very, very muddy with all that extra moisture from the melting snow. So a few things to consider. Fall works out well. It's an easy way to feed, inexpensive, not much expensive equipment involved, not much material cost other than the plastic itself. All right. That's all for today. Mark, Hay Creek Stock Farm, haycreek.net.